First up, we're diving into one of the most interesting and valuable coins from the World War II era, the 1943 steel penny with an S mint mark, even in dirty condition. So if you're wondering how much this historical piece can fetch in today's auction market, stick around and let's find out. Let's start with a quick history lesson. In 1943, due to a shortage of copper during World War II, the U.S. Mint decided to produce pennies made from zinc-coated steel. The year 1943 is unique because it marks the only time the U.S. Mint struck pennies with this material. These pennies were used during the war to help save copper for ammunition and other essential supplies. Now, for most of us, the 1943 steel penny isn't rare on its own. However, the mint mark plays a big role in determining its value, especially the S mint mark coins that were minted in San Francisco. We're focusing on the 1943 S steel penny in dirty condition. So, what does it mean for a coin to be in dirty condition? Well, as you can see, this coin has accumulated some dirt, grime, and maybe a bit of corrosion over the years. While not the ideal for any collector, these imperfections don't always kill the coin's value, especially with historical coins like the 1943 steel penny. In fact, even in dirty or worn condition, the 1943 steel penny with an S mint mark can still carry significant value. But how much? Let's break it down. On the current auction market, the value of a 1943 S steel penny depends heavily on the condition and the overall appeal of the coin. For a dirty or heavily worn example, you might expect to see prices range anywhere from $85,000 at auction. Now, this is a far cry from a mint condition 1943 S steel penny, which can go for a lot more, sometimes hundreds of dollars, or even over $1,000 in the right condition. But even though this coin is in dirty shape, it's still a piece of history, and collectors are always eager to get their hands on a 1943 steel penny with that S mint mark. Why is this coin valuable, even in such rough shape? Well, there are a couple of reasons. First, the steel composition itself makes it rare the U.S. Mint only produced them for 1 year. Second, the S mint mark indicates it was minted in San Francisco, which means it's a part of a smaller mintage compared to other 1943 pennies. In addition, coins from this era, especially in any condition, are in high demand among history buffs and collectors. So, if you're thinking about buying or selling a 1943 S steel penny, there are a few tips to keep in mind. Always check auction platforms like eBay or visit coin auctions to get a sense of how much similar coins are going for. Keep in mind that condition plays a significant role, but don't be discouraged by dirt. A little cleaning may help, but remember, never scrub a coin too hard as it can damage the surface further. Next up, let's talk about the 1944 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, which also carries a fascinating story. This particular coin, however, is significantly different from its 1945 counterpart due to its black color and dirty condition. While the 1945 penny is known for its distinctive rust-red appearance, the 1944 penny offers another example of a coin that has been through a unique and sometimes unfortunate journey. Even though it's in a dirty and blackened condition, it still has a place in the world of valuable and collectible coins. The 1944 Lincoln wheat penny was minted during the heart of World War II, a time when the U.S. economy was focused on supporting the war effort. As a result, metal resources were scarce, and many coins, including the wheat pennies, were produced in large numbers to meet the circulation demands. The 1944 penny is particularly significant because it was the first year that the U.S. Mint produced pennies made of steel instead of copper due to wartime material shortages. Unlike the 1945 penny, which was made from copper, the 1944 penny was primarily made from steel and then coated with zinc, resulting in a distinctive steel-like appearance. However, the absence of a mint mark on this particular penny is notable, as it suggests that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use mint marks at the time. The design of the 1944 penny is quite similar to that of the other wheat pennies from the 1940s, featuring Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse. This design remained unchanged for many years until the introduction of the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. The absence of a mint mark on this coin places it in the Philadelphia Mint category, a detail that many collectors find appealing when evaluating the coin's potential for future value. The blackened, dirty condition of this particular coin may have resulted from being stored in a damp or polluted environment over time. The buildup of grime, soot, and dirt could have contributed to the darkened appearance, which can often lead to a lower grade in terms of numismatic value. However, even in such condition, this coin holds significance for collectors. The 1944 penny was minted in massive numbers, with over 1 billion produced. However, the key to understanding its collector interest lies in its unique status. Although most of these pennies are very common, coins with damage or unusual conditions like blackening or dirt buildup often garner interest because they are viewed as storytelling coins. Collectors of historical coins often seek out examples like this to study and appreciate how time and circumstances have affected the coin. Even in dirty condition, the 1944 wheat penny is still an important piece for collectors who focus on coins in varied states of preservation, as this helps to add to the depth of their collections. Despite being in dirty condition, the 1944 wheat penny without a mint mark still holds value in the market, albeit lower than an uncirculated version. Depending on the condition, the coin might be valued anywhere between $34,000. However, for those who focus on preservation and restoration, there could be more value in restoring the coin to its previous glory, which could enhance its market potential. In auction settings, coins with unique features like discoloration, dirt, or wear sometimes perform better than expected due to the niche market they cater to. Depending on the level of collector interest, it could fetch anywhere from $30,000 in some rare cases, especially if there is a lack of availability or if it appeals to a specific collector community interested in historical preservation. Next up, the 1958 Lincoln wheat cent is the last year of the iconic wheat design that was minted from 1909 through 1958. The coin features the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, while the reverse depicts two stalks of wheat, a symbol that was a reflection of the American economy during the Great Depression. The wheat design was replaced in 1959 by the Lincoln Memorial design to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 150th birthday. As a result, the 1958 coin marks the final chapter in the wheat cent series. Given that this is the last year of the series, it makes it particularly sought after by collectors, and the 1958 wheat cent in particular is in high demand for those completing their collections of this era. But what makes the 1958 with the D mint mark even more interesting is the history surrounding the minting process and the conditions in which these coins were produced. On the reverse side, we see the two stalks of wheat that give the coin its name. The words E pluribus unum are inscribed above the stalks and United States of America, and 1 cent are displayed along the bottom of the coin. The D mint mark signifies that this coin was struck at the Denver Mint, which was one of the primary facilities for coin production during this time. In total, approximately 1.5 billion 1958 Lincoln wheat cents were produced across both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. However, despite the high mintage, the 1958 with the D mint mark in particular has become highly coveted due to its rarity in certain conditions. Coins from this era that are in full rusted red condition are exceedingly rare, as the copper alloy used in the coin's composition naturally ages over time and loses its original red color. The term rusted red refers to the coin's unique hue that arises when a coin has been exposed to oxidation or environmental elements over time, giving it an appealing, almost coppery, appearance. This condition is prized by collectors who are looking for coins with a distinct patina that enhances their aesthetic appeal. What's fascinating about this specific 1958 coin is the market value it commands. Although common in circulated condition, a 1958 Lincoln wheat, sent in mint state or in full rusted red condition, can fetch high prices in the auction world. When looking at such coins, collectors pay close attention to the coin's overall appeal, such as how much of the original red color remains and the degree of oxidation. Coins in full rusted red condition are typically seen as more valuable than those in lesser states. The 1958 Lincoln wheat cent with the D mint mark is particularly sought after by collectors who appreciate its historical significance as the last coin in the wheat series, and because it can be difficult to find in such well-preserved condition. In terms of market value, a coin in full rusted red color condition can fetch anywhere from $45,000 in a low-grade auction setting, depending on the coin's condition and other factors. However, if the coin is in a higher grade, it can reach much more significant prices. For example, a coin graded as MS-67 or MS-68 can reach $93,000 or even higher at auction, especially if it retains most of its original red coloration. A perfect example of this coin with full rusted red in a high grade can often be valued at over $100,000, with certain auction houses bringing in significant prices for these coins. Another factor contributing to the high value of the 1958 D Lincoln wheat cent is the rarity of certain errors. In some cases, misprints or issues related to the die can make a coin significantly more valuable. Although the 1958 Lincoln wheat cent is not particularly known for widespread error types, there are occasionally coins with double strikes, misaligned dies, or unusual rim errors that can attract attention from collectors and result in a higher than normal market value. Collectors should always be on the lookout for such errors, as they can dramatically increase the coin's worth. Additionally, when paired with the already strong demand for well-preserved 1958 D coins, an error could make an otherwise standard coin a significant find in the auction world. Next up, the 1943 Abraham Lincoln steel penny without mint mark. This coin holds historical significance, and in good condition, it can be worth a lot more than you might think. Stay tuned to discover just how much this wartime relic could fetch in today's market. Let's start with the basics. In 1943, due to a copper shortage caused by World War II, the U.S. Mint began striking pennies out of steel instead of the usual copper. This created the iconic 1943 Lincoln steel penny. The coin is lightweight, magnetic, and instantly recognizable by its steel gray color. The 1943 Lincoln penny features the familiar design with Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and 2 ears of wheat on the reverse. But the key factor here is that these pennies were produced with steel temporary change that lasted for just 1 year. Now, let's talk about the mint marks. There are 3 possible mint marks on the 1943 steel pennies: D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and no mint mark for Philadelphia. Coins without a mint mark, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, are often considered the most common of the 1943 steel pennies. But that doesn't mean they're without value, especially if they're in good condition. The 1943 without mint mark version is actually quite popular among collectors. While the mint mark variety does have an impact on value, even the Philadelphia version can be worth much more than its face value if it's in good condition. So, what exactly do we mean by good condition? When we talk about coins in good condition, we're looking for pieces that show clear detail, but may have some wear from circulation. In the case of the 1943 steel penny, a good condition coin will still feature a well-defined Lincoln portrait, readable inscriptions, and visible wheat stalks on the reverse, although they might show some signs of wear and light tarnishing. A good condition 1943 steel penny typically has more surface wear compared to higher grade coins, but still holds significant collector value, especially due to its historical importance and scarcity. Now, let's get to the fun part. What's this coin worth in today's market? The 1943 Lincoln steel penny without a mint mark in good condition typically ranges in value from $70,000, depending on its overall appearance, rarity, and demand at the time. Though this is a relatively low value for a coin that's more than 80 years old, the price can increase depending on the quality. If your coin has minimal wear and is in better than average condition for its age, it could fetch up to $100, or even higher. Coins that are well preserved or have a unique history behind them can sometimes break the bank. Some 1943 steel pennies without mint marks, even in good condition, can sell for $90,000 or more at auction, depending on the collector interest at that time. So, if you're lucky enough to own one in especially good shape, you might find it's worth a lot more than the standard range. While these higher auction prices aren't guaranteed, they show that there's still considerable demand for these rare wartime coins. So, if you're looking to start or add to your collection, the 1943 steel penny without a mint mark is an excellent piece to have. It represents a pivotal moment in American history, and its price can climb if the right collector sets their sights on it. Whether you're finding one in circulation, hunting for it at a coin shop, or browsing an auction, it's a great coin to keep an eye on. Well, that's it for today's deep dive into the 1943 Lincoln steel penny without a mint mark in good condition. It's an affordable yet collectible piece of U.S. history that can still fetch a decent price. If you're a coin collector or just starting out, make sure to keep your eyes peeled for this iconic coin. Next up, the 1948 Lincoln wheat cent, with the large date and D mint mark, is a part of the series of pennies minted from 1909 to 1958. The Lincoln wheat cent holds a significant place in American numismatic history, and the 1948 version is no exception. The coin features the familiar obverse portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, and a reverse that showcases the wheat sheaves, designed by the same artist. The large date on the 1948 cent, as opposed to the small date, makes it stand out among other years of the series. The 1948 coin was minted during a period of post-war recovery, following World War II, a time of significant economic change in the U.S. The country had just transitioned from wartime production to a consumer-driven economy. The coin's production during this time reflects the country's recovery and growth. However, the 1948 Lincoln cent, especially with the D mint mark, didn't necessarily stand out as rare when it was first issued. However, as time passed, the 1948 Lincoln penny, with its D mint mark, became one of the more valuable pieces among collectors due to its scarcity in high-grade condition and its overall historical context. The total mintage of the 1948 Lincoln penny with a D mint mark is substantial but not as high as some other years in the series. Around 1.1 billion 1948 D Lincoln cents were minted. While this number may seem large, finding these coins in excellent condition, especially in full rust black color with a dirty layer, is rare, driving up its market value considerably. Although the 1948 Lincoln wheat penny is not known for having a significant number of minting errors, the coin's condition in this particular case, being in dirty, rusted condition with black color layers, makes it intriguing for collectors. The presence of dirt, grime, and oxidation makes this coin a unique specimen. Collectors with an eye for rare and authentic as-found coins find this type of penny fascinating because of its visual appeal and historical authenticity. The dirty, rusted appearance can even add to the coin's appeal, as some collectors prefer coins that tell a story of age and time, which the 1948 penny clearly does. Coins like these also have higher collector interest because of their rarity in such condition, making them more desirable at auction. The value of the 1948 Lincoln wheat penny with a D mint mark and its rust black layer can fluctuate based on the overall market and collector interest. As of the most recent auctions, these coins in similar condition, with heavy oxidation and dirt, have been selling for anywhere between $50,500 depending on the severity of the rust and dirt, and whether there are any unique characteristics. In some rare cases, such coins can even reach higher values at specialized auctions for numismatic enthusiasts looking for these distinctive, hard-to-find coins. Next up, the 1989 Washington quarter dollar with the large date and the D mint mark, especially in uncirculated condition. We'll go over everything you need to know about this coin's design, its history, and most importantly, its value in today's auction market. Spoiler alert, this coin could be worth a lot more than you think, even though it's from a relatively modern era. Let's start with the basics. The 1989 Washington quarter was part of the long-running series of quarters first minted in 1932 to honor George Washington. The design was created by John Flanagan, and it's remained largely unchanged over the decades, except for the occasional design updates and modifications. The Washington quarter is one of the most recognizable and widely collected U.S. coins, and it continues to captivate collectors even today. One of the most important features of this particular quarter is the large date on the obverse, which refers to the prominent size and distinct styling of the numbers in the year. If you compare the large date to the smaller date variants from the same year, you'll notice the numbers in the large date are larger and spaced differently. This is the type of small variation that really excites collectors, as even the tiniest differences can affect a coin's value. While the 1989 quarter is not necessarily rare in large numbers, Finding it in uncirculated condition can be a different story. On the front, or the obverse side, we have the iconic portrait of George Washington. Above Washington's head, you'll find the word liberty, and to the right, the phrase, "In God we trust." At the bottom, the year 1989 is prominently displayed. But here's the key detail. Look at the mint mark. On this specific coin, it's the D mint mark, which means it was struck at the Denver Mint. This is an important detail for collectors, as the Denver Mint is known for producing significant numbers of coins, but finding one in uncirculated condition is what makes this coin more valuable. On the reverse side, you'll see the classic eagle design, perched on an olive branch, symbolizing peace. The reverse is inscribed with United States of America, and below the eagle, you'll find the denomination quarter dollar. Now, let's talk about condition specifically. What makes a coin uncirculated? An uncirculated coin is one that has never been in circulation, meaning it has never been used in daily transactions. As a result, it's preserved in nearly perfect condition, with no visible wear or damage. The details on the design remain sharp and crisp, and the coin often has a brilliant shine. Coins in uncirculated condition are always more valuable than those that have been circulated, simply because they're rarer and represent the highest quality a coin can be in. If a coin has been in circulation, it's going to show signs of wear, such as scratches, scuffs, or fading. But an uncirculated coin, like this 1989 Washington quarter, retains its original luster and quality, which is why it's highly sought after by collectors and investors alike. Now, the big question: how much is the 1989 Washington quarter, with the large date and D mint mark in uncirculated condition, worth today? The answer might surprise you, especially when compared to its face value of just 25 cents. In today's auction market, you can expect an uncirculated 1989 Washington quarter with the large date and D mint mark to fetch anywhere from $15 to $30, depending on the coin's precise condition, such as its grading and the presence of any unique characteristics. Coins that have been graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC and have received a high grade, such as MS-65 or higher, can command even higher prices, sometimes up to $50 or more. However, this value is not static. It fluctuates based on factors like demand, the overall health of the coin market, and specific coin attributes. But one thing's for sure: the 1989 Washington quarter in uncirculated condition is much more valuable than its face value. Let's take a quick moment to compare an uncirculated coin with a circulated one. Here, you can see a circulated 1989 Washington quarter. Notice the wear around the high points of the design, on Washington's profile and the eagle's wings. This is the kind of wear you'd expect from a coin that has been used in daily transactions for decades. On the other hand, the uncirculated version is pristine. There are no visible signs of wear, and the details are sharp and fully intact. It's almost like the coin has just been minted. So why should collectors and investors care about coins like the 1989 Washington quarter? Well, first of all, it's a great entry-level coin for new collectors. It's relatively affordable and can be a fantastic piece to start building your collection. Moreover, coins like this 1989 Washington quarter tend to appreciate in value over time, especially as they become harder to find in uncirculated condition. Next up, we have the 1947 Lincoln wheat penny. This coin is similar to the 1945 in terms of design and basic characteristics, but it holds its own due to its unique features, particularly the large date variation. By 1947, the United States had firmly transitioned from wartime to peacetime. The economy was booming, and this was the era of the baby boom, when many American families started to experience prosperity. The 1947 penny was minted as part of the continuous effort to keep the nation's economy thriving. While it might not hold the dramatic historical significance that the 1945 penny does, the 1947 penny is still deeply embedded in the post-war context. The 1947 Lincoln penny features the same design as the 1945, with Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the wheat ears on the reverse. The large date variety, where the 4 and 7 in the date are noticeably larger than earlier years, was an interesting design choice that helps identify the coin. On top of this, The full rust red color is something that makes this coin particularly attractive to collectors. Even in its dirty condition, this coin's color adds significant value. The mintage of the 1947 Lincoln penny, like its 1945 counterpart, was high, but not as high as some of the earlier years in the series. In total, the Philadelphia Mint produced 1,184,000,000 of these pennies. However, like many pennies of this era, the majority of them saw extensive circulation, meaning that only a small percentage remain in pristine condition. The value of the 1947 penny, especially in dirty or well-worn condition, tends to be much lower than the 1945 coin in excellent condition. However, it still holds strong appeal among collectors, particularly those who focus on obtaining every year in the Lincoln Wheat series. A dirty 1947 penny, in its average circulated condition, is usually worth just a few cents to a couple of dollars. However, if you can find a 1947 Lincoln penny in full rust red condition or near mint state, the value can shoot up dramatically. Depending on the quality, you might see prices in the range of $32,000 or more for coins in MS-65 or higher grades. Keep in mind that these prices fluctuate based on market demand and the particular auction context. Unlike some other Lincoln pennies, the 1947 version doesn't have notable errors or misprints that add further to its allure. However, the large date variety is a key feature for those who focus on specific design traits within the Lincoln Wheat penny series. This coin's condition and the large date variety are what truly set it apart from other pennies of its era. Collectors are drawn to the 1947 penny due to its role in the broader history of post-Boao Cyprus America, and the appeal of having a well-maintained rust-red example from this year is strong among those who focus on collecting all Lincoln Wheat pennies. As with other coins from the late 1940s, finding one in superior condition is what truly makes a 1947 penny valuable. Next up, the 1943 Abraham Lincoln steel penny with a large date and D mint mark, even when found in dirty condition. Stay tuned to find out just how much this unique coin could be worth in today's market. Let's start with a little background. The 1943 Lincoln penny is special because it was made of steel instead of the usual copper. Why, due to copper shortages during World War II, the U.S. Mint switched to using steel for this particular year's pennies. As a result, the 1943 Lincoln steel penny became a symbol of wartime ingenuity. The 1943 Lincoln penny features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and two wheat stalks on the reverse, just like other wheat pennies. But it's the steel composition and large date that set it apart from other years. Now, let's talk about the mint marks. The D mint mark on this penny means it was struck at the Denver Mint. The large date variety, which is typically more prominent than the small date, is another important factor when determining the value of this coin. Coins with the large date are considered to be slightly rarer than their small date counterparts, and this can make them more valuable, even if the condition is less than perfect. So, what if the coin is in dirty condition? In the world of coin collecting, dirty doesn't necessarily mean a coin is worthless. While dirt, corrosion, or grime can impact the coin's appeal, it doesn't automatically destroy its value, especially if it's a rare piece. Coins in dirty condition can still hold significant value because of their rarity, like our 1943 steel penny with the large date and D mint mark. Cleaning them, however, is usually not recommended, as it can further damage the coin's surface and decrease its market value. Now, let's get into the value of this coin. A 1943 Lincoln steel penny in dirty condition with D mint mark can still fetch a respectable price in today's market, especially if the dirt or corrosion is relatively minimal. In general, you can expect a 1943 steel penny in dirty condition to be worth anywhere from $110,000, depending on how bad the dirt is and how much of the design is still visible. But the rarity of the coin and its mint mark can boost that price. For example, a coin in more substantial damage or with heavy corrosion may sell for a bit less, but if the coin is in better shape, like showing clear detail, even with some dirt it could sell for $100,000 or more. While a dirty coin might not fetch a premium price, some collectors will still pay top dollar for a 1943 steel penny with D mint mark, especially if it's an uncirculated or well-preserved piece. In fact, a A 1943 Lincoln steel penny with D mint mark in mint state or near mint condition could be worth $500 or more. Coins with cleaner surfaces, fewer blemishes, and a well-defined large date have even more potential, so it's worth considering all factors before you let go of one of these wartime treasures. So, whether you find a dirty 1943 Lincoln steel penny with a D mint mark in your collection or decide to purchase one, it's clear that these coins can still hold great value. And if you're lucky enough to have one in near mint or mint condition, you could be holding on to a real treasure. Next up, the 1946 Abraham Lincoln. Wheat cent without a mint mark, featuring full scratches and dots, is another fascinating coin in the U.S. wheat cent series. This coin, minted in Philadelphia, reflects post-war America's ongoing economic recovery and growth, but in a very different way compared to the 1948 D mint-marked penny. In 1946, the U.S. was transitioning out of World War II and beginning its post-war economic boom. The government's focus shifted from wartime production to consumer goods. Coins minted during this time were typically used for everyday transactions, meaning many of these coins saw heavy circulation and often became worn down quickly. It wasn't uncommon for coins of the era to have visible scratches, scuffs, and other types of damage. The 1946 Lincoln penny, without a mint mark, was one of the first pennies produced after the war, signaling a new chapter for the U.S. coinage. Unlike the 1948 D penny, the mintage for the 1946 penny without a mint mark is lower, with about 1.1 billion coins minted. The 1946 penny's higher circulation rate meant that many were damaged, which is why this particular coin in full damage condition with scratches and dots is considered a rarer find. Coins with severe damage are typically not as valuable as those in excellent condition, but the unique characteristics of this coin give it a place in collectors' hearts. Just like other wheat pennies, the 1946 cent features a bust of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. The reverse displays 2 ears of wheat, a design that's become iconic in American numismatics. The lack of a mint mark on this coin indicates that it was struck in Philadelphia. The 1946 penny was made with the same copper composition of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it a characteristic reddish-brown hue, which over time can oxidize and change color depending on how the coin is stored. The key feature of the 1946 Lincoln penny in this case is its condition. The coin has suffered considerable damage, scratches, dings, and dots from rough circulation. Coins with these types of imperfections often don't hold as much market value as those in mint condition. However, some collectors appreciate the coin's story told by its condition. A coin with visible wear, especially scratches and dots, can suggest it was heavily circulated, perhaps making it more desirable for those interested in the historical journey of coins. One aspect that drives up collector interest in this coin is the rarity of finding one in such condition. A 1946 penny in full damage condition, while common in circulation, is relatively rare to find in the hands of collectors. The 1946 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in full damage condition can vary greatly in market value. Typically, such coins are worth less than those in near mint condition, but they do attract a niche market of collectors. Based on the most recent auctions, the value of the 1946 penny in such damaged condition generally ranges from $38,000 depending on the severity of the scratches and dots. Coins with interesting visual damage can often be found in numismatic auctions, where they fetch higher prices from collectors looking to add these distinctive coins to their collections. We have the 1945 Abraham Lincoln wheat 1 cent. The 1945 Lincoln penny is not just any coin. It's a part of American history and represents the end of World War II. The year 1945 marked the conclusion of one of the most significant and impactful events of the 20th century. As the U.S. transitioned from war to peace, the nation was undergoing a transformation. In 1945, the United States was at the peak of victory in World War II. The war ended in September, and many coins minted that year, including the Lincoln wheat penny, reflect the era's sentiment. There's a certain historical charm to the 1945 penny that attracts collectors. As with many wartime-era coins, these were heavily used, which means they are often found in less than ideal condition. That said, A coin in good to excellent condition, especially a full rust red coin, is highly prized. The design of the 1945 Lincoln penny features the classic wheat reverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. On the obverse, Abraham Lincoln is portrayed in profile. The reverse side depicts two stalks of wheat, symbolizing the nation's agricultural prosperity. The year 194 is clearly visible beneath Lincoln's portrait. The full rust red color of this coin is a desirable feature for collectors because it indicates that the coin has not been tarnished or discolored over the years. The 1945 penny was minted in significant numbers. However, a large portion of these coins were heavily circulated, making them less valuable in lower grades. The mintage of the 1945 Lincoln penny without a mint mark produced in Philadelphia was a massive 1,474,000,000 coins, an impressive number. But this also means that most of them have been lost to wear and tear over the decades. However, the 1945 Lincoln penny in full rust red condition stands out due to its rarity. It's difficult to find these pennies without wear, which is why a full red mint state penny can command a premium. Error and collector interest. Interestingly, this coin is not known for significant mint errors like some others in the Lincoln series. However, it does have its place in the hearts of collectors due to its connection to the end of World War II and its historical significance. The rust red color is also crucial, as many of the coins produced in 1945 are found in brown or even corroded conditions due to the harsh handling they received. The appeal of the 1945 Lincoln penny comes not only from its age but from the pristine condition it may still hold. A coin like this, particularly in full red condition, is something collectors seek for its eye appeal and rarity. In terms of its value in today's market, a 1945 Lincoln penny with no mint mark can be worth anywhere from a few cents in poor condition to upwards of $50,000 or more in excellent full red condition. Coins graded at MS 65 or higher mint state with a red color can fetch a value between $100,000 depending on the auction environment and buyer interest. Even more extreme cases of pristine coins can go much higher, but that's a rarity. Collectors of Lincoln wheat pennies value the condition, historical connection to World War II, and the beauty of the wheat stalk reverse. As you can imagine, these factors combine to make the 1945 Lincoln penny a sought-after piece. The 1987 Washington quarter dollar, with a large date and D mint mark. Specifically, we'll discuss its value in extra fine condition and how much it can fetch in today's auction market. Spoiler alert, this coin might be more valuable than you think. First, let's talk about the design and history of the 1987 Washington quarter. This coin was part of the Washington quarter series, which began in 1932 to commemorate the bicentennial of George Washington's birth. The obverse of the coin features the iconic profile of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. Above Washington's portrait, you'll see the word Liberty. And to the right, the motto, "In God We Trust." And of course, the year 1987 is prominently displayed at the bottom of the coin. One of the key features of this coin is the large date. In numismatics, the term large date refers to the size and spacing of the numbers in the year, which are more prominent compared to the small date varieties seen in some other coin years. For collectors, this detail can be significant. Now let's flip the coin over to the reverse side. Here, you'll find the classic design of an eagle perched on an olive branch, its wings spread wide, symbolizing peace and strength. Above the eagle is the inscription, United States of America, while below you'll see the denomination quarter dollar. The mint mark, located just below the wreath on the reverse, is a key identifier for this coin. In this case, we're focusing on the D mint mark, which signifies that the coin was minted at the Denver Mint. The Denver Mint produced a substantial number of quarters in 1987, but coins in excellent condition are becoming harder to find as time goes on. Condition is everything when it comes to valuing coins, and this is where the term extra fine condition comes into play. Coins in extra fine XF condition are well preserved, showing only slight wear on the highest points of the design. For the 1987 Washington quarter, this means you'll notice minor wear on Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers, but the details remain sharp, and the coin retains much of its original luster. Let's take a closer look at an example of an extra fine 1987 Washington quarter with the D mint mark. As you can see, the details on Washington's profile are crisp, and the lettering and date are bold and clear. This level of preservation makes the coin highly desirable to collectors. Now for the part you've been waiting for, how much is this coin worth in today's auction market? In general, 1,987 Washington quarters with D mint mark aren't considered rare because of their high mintage numbers. However, coins in extra fine condition are a different story. Currently, in auctions and online marketplaces, a 1987 Washington quarter with a large date and D mint mark in extra fine condition can sell for $70 to $150. While this might not seem like a fortune, it's a significant premium compared to its face value of just 25 cents. And for collectors looking to complete a set of Washington quarters, finding one in this condition is worth the investment. If your coin has additional features like eye-catching toning, attractive color shades, or has been professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC, it could fetch even higher prices, sometimes up to $200 or more. Grading not only adds credibility but also attracts serious collectors who are willing to pay a premium for coins in verified condition. So, why should you pay attention to the 1987 Washington quarter, even though it's not the rarest coin out there? Well, coins like this offer a great entry point for beginner collectors. They're affordable, historically significant, and have the potential to appreciate in value over time. As older coins like this become scarcer in excellent condition, their desirability increases, which can drive up prices in the long run. To sum it up, the 1987 Washington quarter dollar with the large date and D mint mark in extra fine condition is currently valued at around $230 to $250 in today's auction market. Coins with professional grading or unique visual appeal can go for even higher prices. It's a fantastic addition to any collection and a reminder of how small details like condition and mint marks can make a big difference in a coin's value. Next up, the 1945 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny, especially with the D mint mark, is one of the coins that stands out in American numismatics due to its historical significance and rarity. Produced during the tail end of World War II, this coin reflects a time when the United States was transitioning from wartime economy to peacetime prosperity. The minting process during this period was complex, with the U.S. government focusing on meeting the demands of wartime production. As a result, some coins from this period exhibit unique characteristics that make them both historically interesting and valuable in the market today. The 1945 penny, like other wheat pennies of its era, is part of a series that was first introduced in 1909. The coin's design features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln, which was created by sculptor Victor David Brenner. The reverse side of the coin features two wheat stalks, symbolizing the agricultural strength of the nation. The Lincoln wheat penny was in circulation for decades, and many of these coins were produced in the post-war years to meet the needs of a growing population and economy. As we look at the 1945 D wheat penny, it's important to consider the broader historical context. The year 1945 was significant because it marked the end of World War II, a pivotal moment in world history. The D mint mark signifies that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the three major U.S. mints that were responsible for producing currency during this time. However, the most unique feature of this particular coin is its condition, a key factor that affects its value. This coin is described as being in full rust red color with noticeable scratches and damage, which might initially seem like a negative aspect. However, the truth is that despite the damage, it still holds historical value and intrigue, especially when considering its age and the rarity of coins that survive in less than perfect condition. The reddish tint and rust can be attributed to a variety of environmental factors, such as exposure to moisture, air, or acidic elements over time. This can create an interesting patina, making it a coin that stands out for its unique appearance. In 1945, the Denver Mint produced over 1 billion wheat pennies, making it one of the most common coins of its era. However, despite the high mintage, this specific 1945 D coin is still of great interest to collectors, especially those who focus on graded coins and error coins. Coins with unusual conditions, such as the rust red tint and visible damage, are fascinating to many collectors because they tell a unique story of survival and wear. The collector interest in a coin like this often stems from its age, historical context, and the fact that certain flaws can actually make a coin more attractive to niche collectors. Coins with discoloration or surface issues like rust and scratches are often sought after by error coin enthusiasts, who appreciate how these imperfections might tell the story of the coin's journey through time. The 1945 D wheat penny, with a full rust red color and noticeable scratches or damage, may not fetch a high value compared to an uncirculated example, but it still holds market value. In auction markets, depending on its precise condition and the buyer's interest, a coin like this might be valued between $44,000 for those in very worn or damaged condition. However, rarity and condition play significant roles in determining the price. Coins with unique characteristics, such as extreme rust or scratches, can sometimes see higher prices if they appeal to collectors who specialize in oddities or minting flaws. Next up, the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Cent is one of the final issues in the long-running Wheat series, which spanned from 1909 to 1958. The series was designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, and the 1957 coin is part of the series' final year. Unlike the 1958, the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Cent has no mint mark, meaning it was minted at the Philadelphia Mint. Much like its 1958 counterpart, the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Cent is often included in Lincoln Wheat Cent collections, particularly those that focus on the coins produced during the final years of the Wheat series. The historical value of this coin lies in its position as one of the last coins of the series, and it holds a particular place in the hearts of collectors who are completing their collections or those who appreciate the design and history of the wheat cents. The design of the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Cent remains almost identical to its predecessors. On the obverse, we have the familiar bust of Abraham Lincoln, framed by the words, "Liberty and in God. We trust the date." 1957 is positioned just below Lincoln's bust, along with the absence of a mint mark, signifying that the coin was minted in Philadelphia. The reverse of the coin features two stalks of wheat, the phrase E pluribus unum, and the inscriptions United States of America and 1 cent. The design is simple but effective, making the Lincoln Wheat Cent one of the most iconic U.S. coins in history. The absence of a mint mark on this coin makes it unique to Philadelphia, further contributing to its rarity and appeal. In 1957, a total of over 1 billion Lincoln Wheat Cents were minted at the Philadelphia Mint. Despite the high mintage, the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Cent, in full rusted red condition, is still a highly sought-after coin. However, coins in dirty condition, especially those in full rusted red color with significant wear or exposure to harsh elements, are rarer and often appeal to a different subset of collectors. Collectors often target coins like this because of their age, historical significance, and the natural beauty of the rusted red coloration that has developed over the years. While the coin may show signs of dirt or aging, its inherent character gives it a unique place among other coins from the era. The value of the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Cent, particularly those in rusted red condition, can vary depending on the level of preservation. While a typical circulated 1957 penny can be worth just a few cents, the value significantly increases when the coin is in a higher grade with good preservation. Coins with a full rusted red color, despite being in dirty condition, may still see auction prices ranging from $72,000, depending on the level of wear. Coins in near mint or mint state with minimal damage can fetch anywhere from $99,000. This price can increase significantly if the coin features rare or unique characteristics. As with the 1958 Lincoln Wheat Cent, certain errors or variations could drive up the value of the 1957 penny in the marketplace. The 1957 Lincoln Wheat Cent is not particularly known for large-scale errors, but like many other coins from this era, there can occasionally be misprints, die flaws, or other anomalies that lead to increased value. Some of these can include double die strikes or off-center strikes, which can make the coin highly valuable to collectors. Just like the 1958D, the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Cent, in full rusted red color, can increase in value when found in excellent condition or when paired with unique error traits. These coins are often highly desirable, making them prized finds in the world of coin collecting. Next up, the 1970 Washington Quarter Dollar. Specifically, we'll focus on the version without mint mark and fine condition. You might be thinking, isn't the 1970 Washington Quarter just another coin from the 1970s? Well, yes and no. While it's a relatively common coin, the absence of a mint mark and the condition it's in can make a huge difference in its value, especially in today's auction market. So let's break it all down. How much can you expect to pay for this coin, and what makes it stand out in the market today? First, let's take a close look at the 1970 Washington Quarter. The Washington Quarter, as many of you know, was introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday. Its design has remained largely the same, featuring Washington's portrait on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. The 1970 version is part of the regular series, but there's something a little different about the coin we're focusing on today. It's the no mint mark variety. In 1970, the U.S. Mint struck quarters at 3 different facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Usually, quarters from Philadelphia are marked with a P mint mark, but in 1970, the Philadelphia Mint issued quarters with no mint mark at all. This makes the 1970 no mint mark Washington Quarter a bit more distinctive when compared to the quarters from Denver and San Francisco, which do have mint marks. On the obverse side, we see the familiar portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. The inscriptions include Liberty at the top, In God We Trust to the right, and the year 1970 at the bottom. No mint mark is present, making this coin stand out from others from the same year. This lack of a mint mark makes the coin slightly more intriguing to collectors. But don't be fooled. This doesn't make it a super rare find. It just means it's a unique example from that year, and collectors love hunting for these subtle distinctions. On the reverse side, you'll find the traditional design of a bald eagle perched on an olive branch, with the words United States of America above and $quarter below. The eagle represents strength and the olive branch peace, a classic symbol of America's values. Before we get to the value, let's talk about the condition of this 1970 Washington Quarter. We're specifically focusing on coins in fine condition today. But what does that mean? A fine condition coin shows noticeable wear, but the major design elements are still legible. In the case of the 1970 Washington Quarter, you might see a bit of flatness on the high points of the coin, but the details of Washington's face and the eagle on the reverse are still clearly visible. There could be some slight scratching or discoloration due to circulation, but overall, it maintains decent sharpness in the design. Fine condition coins are generally more affordable than higher grade coins, but they still hold value due to their collectible nature. And this is where the value of the 1970 Washington Quarter starts to show its potential. In today's market, a 1970 Washington Quarter without a mint mark, in fine condition, typically sells for $15 to $40. The price can fluctuate depending on the demand, the specific characteristics of the coin, and the auction house. But the range generally stays within this price bracket. Now, you might be wondering, why does it have value if it's a relatively modern coin with no mint mark? Well, that's because collectors value the small distinctions and the quality of the coin. Even minor variations like the absence of the mint mark make coins more appealing to those who specialize in collecting different types of quarters, especially when they are in decent collectible condition. Furthermore, even if this particular coin doesn't skyrocket in value in the near future, the Washington Quarter series, in general, has a loyal following. The more complete your collection, the more valuable it will become in the long run. And as with any collectible, holding on to these coins could yield a profitable return down the line. To summarize, the 1970 Washington Quarter, without a mint mark in fine condition, is valued between $85 and $100 in today's auction market. While it's not a rare or super expensive coin, it's definitely a unique and affordable piece for collectors, especially those who appreciate the small differences that make certain coins stand out. If you're a collector looking to add this coin to your collection, next up, the 1956 Lincoln Wheat Cent is part of the Lincoln Cent series, which was introduced in 1909 to honor the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. The coin's design has seen minor modifications over the years, but its core appeal remains tied to its connection to Lincoln's legacy. It has been a staple in American currency for decades and remains one of the most widely collected coins in U.S. numismatics. The 1956 Lincoln wheat cent is particularly sought after due to its vintage and the distinguishing features of the minting year. The 1956 coin comes in two varieties, the large date and the small date. The large date is the rarer of the two, making it a key coin for collectors. Now, this particular coin we're discussing is not just any 1956 Lincoln wheat cent. It is the D-Mint mark version, minted at the Denver Mint. The mint mark is crucial because it indicates where the coin was produced, and the D-Mint mark can sometimes add additional value due to the unique characteristics and mintage numbers tied to that location. But there's more to this coin than just its mint mark. The condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. We're focusing on a rusty, black-colored, dirty condition, which may sound odd, but it's one of the unique aspects of coin collecting. Coins in such a state often have a history, a story, or an error that gives them a special appeal to collectors. Coins like this 1956 Lincoln cent often go through significant wear and corrosion over the years, especially if they were in circulation for a long time. The rusty, blackened color on this particular coin could have been caused by exposure to various elements like moisture, chemicals, or even the metal itself reacting with its environment over time. This condition may not be ideal for every collector, but for some, this adds to its charm, rarity, and value. In terms of market value, a Lincoln wheat cent in this condition may seem to have limited appeal compared to those in pristine condition. However, rusted, tarnished coins often attract attention due to their rarity in certain grades. On the auction market, the 1956 large date D-Mint mark coin with this specific damage could fetch anywhere from $20,000 depending on the depth of the corrosion, the collector's interest in damaged coins, and the specific auction house's clientele. However, there's more value that comes with these coins in certain rare circumstances, such as when the rust and damage coincide with error coins. If the coin has an unusual die crack, misstrikes, or other minting errors, the value could rise significantly. Some errors, especially if they are one of a kind, can make a seemingly unattractive coin extremely valuable. In terms of mintage, the 1956 Lincoln cent had a relatively high production number, but the D-Mint mark version has always drawn a certain level of attention due to the location where it was struck. With millions produced, finding a coin with unique attributes, such as rare colorations or defects, becomes a major draw for collectors. Collectors of error coins, in particular, seek these unique characteristics. Over the years, the 1956 D-Mint mark Lincoln wheat cent has remained a popular coin among collectors who specialize in either Lincoln wheat cents or damaged coins. The collector interest is also driven by the coin's historical context. It was minted during a time of economic stability, and the design itself has had decades of public familiarity. If you enjoyed this video, next up, the 1967 Washington quarter dollar without a mint mark. Specifically, we're going to focus on its value in good condition and what it's fetching in today's auction market. If you've got a pile of old quarters lying around, you might want to check for one of these coins. It could be worth more than you think. So, stick around as we explore the history, unique characteristics, and current value of the 1967 Washington quarter. Let's start with a little history. The Washington quarter was introduced in 1932 to celebrate the bicentennial of George Washington's birth. Designed by John Flanagan, it has become one of the most recognizable coins in U.S. history. The obverse features a profile of George Washington, while the reverse showcases an eagle perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches below. Now, why is the 1967 Washington quarter so interesting? For starters, it was minted during a significant time in U.S. coinage history. In the mid-1960s, the U.S. Mint removed silver from most circulating coins, including the quarter due to a rising demand for silver and increasing production costs. By 1967, the Washington quarter was being struck in a copper-nickel-clad composition, which replaced the 90% silver content used in earlier years. This change marked the end of an era for coin collectors and investors alike. One important detail about the 1967 Washington quarter is that it has no mint mark. Now, before you get too excited, let me explain why. From 1965 to 1967, the U.S. Mint temporarily suspended mint marks on coins. This was part of an effort to discourage hoarding during a coin shortage at the time. So, every quarter produced during these years, whether it was struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, was issued without a mint mark. While the absence of a mint mark might not indicate rarity for this particular year, collectors still value these coins for their historical significance and the role they played in transitioning U.S. coinage away from silver. In numismatics, the condition of a coin is graded on a scale from poor to mint state. A coin in good condition shows significant wear from circulation. On the obverse, you might notice that Washington's hair details are mostly worn down, and some of the lettering could appear faint. On the reverse, the eagle's feathers may also be heavily worn with only the basic outline of the design remaining visible. Despite the wear, coins in good condition still hold value, especially when they're tied to a historically significant period like the one we're discussing today. Now, let's get to the part you've been waiting for. How much is a 1967 Washington quarter without mint mark in good condition worth in today's auction market? Well, the good news is that these coins do have value beyond their face value of 25 cents. In good condition, a 1967 Washington quarter typically sells for $100 to $110 in today's market. While this might not seem like a fortune, keep in mind that this is just for coins in lower grades. Higher grades like very fine, extra fine, or uncirculated can fetch significantly more. Additionally, if the coin has any unique characteristics, such as errors, die cracks, or doubling, it could be worth even more. Error coins from this era are especially popular among collectors, so always check your coins carefully before assuming they're ordinary. So, how can you maximize the value of your 1967 Washington quarter first? Inspect it closely for any unusual features. Look for doubling on the lettering or numbers, off-center strikes, or die cracks. These kinds of errors can dramatically increase the value of your coin, even if it's in lower grades like good condition. Second, consider getting your coin graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. While grading can be an investment, it's often worth it for coins that could be valuable, as it provides buyers with confidence in the authenticity and condition of your coin. To summarize, the 1967 Washington quarter without a mint mark is a fascinating piece of U.S. coinage history. While it's not a rare coin, its historical significance and the story behind its production make it a worthwhile addition to any collection. In good condition, these coins are valued between $125 and $130 in today's auction market. However, always keep an eye out for error coins or better grades, as those can significantly boost the value. And remember, even common coins like this can become valuable over time as their numbers in circulation decrease.